It's approaching the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good? Back at it again with another analysis video. This is going to be the best stunners within Dokkan Battle. Insert corny big timers joke now. Alright, that's enough of that commercial nonsense from back in the day. I never listened to that shit anyway. Yeah, like I said, this is going to be a coverage on the best units that do have the stun capabilities within the game right now. And they're not going to be in any particular order, but I will cover the more relevant ones first and then kind of break out more details for additional units that could be considered within the list. But I am not going to consider, I'm going to consider units that are an overall good package. Like, they can't just, for example, General Blue has a great chance to stun and also a medium chance to stun all enemies as part of the passive, but he has terrible link skills, so nobody's going to run that guy on a team, unfortunately. So you do have to factor in the cohesion and how it works out for the team overall, and that's kind of why I've created the list accordingly. And again, it's not going to include everybody that's a stun capability unit in the game, but more or less it'll be a good majority of them. And I did only include units that had at least a medium chance. So let's go ahead and get started, and hopefully this will help in terms of team building. So the first one I want to start out with is the super physical type Super Saiyan Goku unit, who's got a high chance to stun the enemy as part of the super attack. This guy is still relevant. I used him quite a bit in Super Battle Road and Battlefield. He came in handy against Zamasu when it was against the intelligent version. So a very good unit, and link skills are all fine. I mean, he falls into pure Saiyan, so overall a good unit. The next one is the World Tournament Goku unit. It is off the World Tournament banner, but he's got the medium chance to stun the enemy as part of the super attack, so a decent option, and he does have a decent passive to where attack and defense will increase by 80%, so link skills aren't too bad either. It's not the greatest, but it's certainly not bad, and he is an option to consider. Okay, next up is the agility version of Goku. This is actually an SR unit, so I included this guy just in case, because let's face it, not everybody has all the best of units in the game. So for anybody watching that are fairly new to the game, I mean, this is somewhat easily attainable, I guess, to a degree. So I included this guy on here because he does have a high chance to stun as part of the SA, and the passive skill actually provides 100% toward defense, and then +2 key and attack increase of 40% when facing 2 or more enemies. So certainly not a bad option, and for those that really need to, could certainly include this guy on a team. Now we're going to one of the best units overall, in my opinion, the Extreme Agility Turles unit. So before the transformation, he does have the medium chance to stun the enemy as part of the super attack, and I'm not going to go into the details as to the passive skill, but just know 40% increase to attack for all allies +3 key, and attack decrease of 15% for super type enemies. I mean, that's a very good passive skill setup, and he falls into quite a bit of categories. I personally like using this guy on a movie boss category team, but pure Saiyans is just as good. So once he does transform, his super attack, instead of medium chance, it'll become a high chance. So that's why I rate this guy pretty highly, even in the list of stunners in Dokkan Battle. This guy's a pretty good unit overall. Alright, next up is, in my opinion, probably the best stun capable unit in the game, and we'll talk about all his functions here in a second, but this is the Super Strength Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Not only does he have a high chance to stun the enemy as part of the super attack, his passive skill has got the tanking ability of reducing damage by 80% for 7 turns. It doesn't get much better than that. Honestly, this guy's probably the best stun unit in the game, hands down. Turles is probably a close second, but this guy is by a long shot much better. Link skills is pretty straightforward. I mean, he's got all the Super Saiyan links, and he's not going to struggle linking up with other Saiyan units in the game. So I use him quite a bit on the Super Saiyan 3 category team, but you could use him on a Super type team or Pure Saiyan's team, and he'll do equally as fine. So this guy is one hell of a tank, and he's got a high chance of stun. So probably the best unit in terms of stunning capabilities. Okay, now we're going to talk about the Jiren unit because he does have a pretty good setup as well. His passive skill not only provides an attack and defense increase of 130% to himself, he's got the medium chance to stun all enemies. Not only that, but the stunned enemies are going to get, if he attacks the stunned enemy, he's going to get a guaranteed critical. So because of that, this guy is highly effective for JP within the new Super Battle Road category stages with the Realm of Gods version. This guy was really the MVP for that. And so the fact that he's got the ability not only to stun the enemies with a medium chance, he also gets a guaranteed critical hit against the stunned enemy. So yeah, this guy is pretty good overall, so I rate him pretty highly as well. Okay, next up we're going to cover 2 of the additional Turles units, or 3 I guess, but we'll start off with the tech version. This guy will have the high chance to stun the enemy as part of the super attack and decent passive skill. Attack and defense increase of 60% plus 3 ki for 7 turns from the start. Link skills are pretty straightforward. Probably best to run him on a Pure Saiyan's team setup or an extreme team setup at this point. He does fall into movie bosses, but again, you'll need the agility Turles unit for the category lead for that. The other version is the extreme intelligence version. He also does have the high chance to stun the enemy. Decent passive skill setup plus 3 ki attack increase of 20% for all allies when HP is 50% or above. Overall decent link skills, and again, he falls into the same 3 categories. Probably best to use him on either Pure Saiyans or even run him on extreme or extreme intelligence. Especially for the Battle Road stages, he might be pretty beneficial for that. This is another favorite of mine. This is the Great Ape Turles unit. He's got the medium chance to stun the enemy, but I like him a lot because he does have plus 3 ki and attack increase of 90% when ki is 9 or more. So pretty much you just need a ki meter of 9 to guarantee a super attack. And he does have the ability to go into the Great Ape mode as well. The other reason I like including this guy on a team, especially movie bosses, is because he links very well with the agility Turles unit. So overall, good unit. It's a good combo package with both versions of Turles in the same rotation. Okay, this is going to be the free-to-play Super Agility Android 18 unit. She's got the passive skill of basically defense increase in mechanism for 10% increase to defense per ki sphere collected, but also the medium chance to stun the attacked enemy for 2 turns. So definitely could find some benefits to that, especially maybe tougher Dokkan events where she's facing bosses that are prone to being stunned, or even like Battle Road and the Peppy Gal stage Battle Road and stuff like that. She could definitely come to find some uses, especially now that the Android category is now available in JP. She could actually be pretty useful. Next up is the GT Final Form Frieza that recently came out on JP as well. He's got the medium chance to stun the enemy as part of the super attack. Not only that, he pairs up very well with the GT Cell unit, because Cell is the one that has the medium chance to seal the SA or seal the SA part of the super attack. But in combination with that, the enemies that have the SA sealed, he's going to get an additional 100% increase to attack on top of that attack and defense of 80%. So he pairs up very well with the GT Cell unit or any unit that can seal the SA for the enemy. So keep that in mind when factoring in this guy for the stun capabilities. He's got decent links overall too. Alright, next up is the free-to-play version of the Final Form Frieza GT unit. he does have the medium chance to stun the enemy as part of the super attack, but also does, as part of the passive, does provide a support function. Extreme class allies get a +2 key and attack defense increase of 25%. And he also reduces damage received by 30%. So overall, not a bad unit to consider, especially since he is free to play. The next one is the Extreme Strength Piccolo Jr. Grade 8 form version. This guy does have the passive for all enemies, attack and defense -20%, and then also the medium chance to stun the attacked enemy, and also the ability to turn into the giant form. So he's got the ability to reduce attack and defense with the medium chance to stun the attacked enemy. So in my opinion, he does provide some benefits, especially on like super battle road settings and stuff like that. His SA does also greatly lower defense, so he's overall balanced, pretty balanced unit. And on an extreme team, he does okay in terms of links. It's not the greatest, but it's not terrible either. So yeah, something to consider. All right, next up is going to be one of the older units, I guess now, but one of the personal favorites of mine too is the Super Tech Whis unit. I remember when Super Battle Road first came out, this guy was probably one of the best guys to include on the team because not only does he reduce the attacked enemy's attack by 20%, he's also got a high chance to stun the attacked enemy as well. And he also, with the super attack, he does lower the attack. So overall, it really helped in Battle Road when it first came out. So this guy's a pretty decent unit. He'll probably do best on a Realm of Gods since he is on the category. But again, back in the day when type-specific teams were still relevant, he did fine with the Super Tech team. He could probably do decent with a Super Type team. But at the end of the day, he does best on the Realm of Gods team. This is going to be the originally SR version that recently, well not recently, but a couple months ago got a Dokkan Awakened. This is the super physical type version of Whis, but he also does have the medium chance to stun the enemy and decent passive attack and defense increase of 40% when HP is 30% or above. But the greatest part about him is similar to the agility free to play Whis, he does recover all HP one time when HP is 30% or below. So a little bit of an upgrade, I guess, compared to the agility version. Pretty much same conversation, I guess, with the link skills. Probably going to be best on Realm of Gods category team setup. Now that Global has the Guinea Force events out right now, I figured it'd be appropriate to include the Extreme Tech Guldo unit, just because he does have the medium chance to stun the enemy. But not only that, as part of the passive, he does reduce the attacked enemy's attack and defense by 20% for 2 turns. So certainly beneficial with that. Link skills is probably going to be best to be on the Ginyu Force team, obviously, but you could probably include him on an extreme team as well. So overall, not too bad as a free to play. Next up is going to be the Extreme Strength Hoi unit. Really, I mean, I have this guy and I rarely use him, but I wanted to include him just as an option for any other player that are lacking some units to include. So this guy does have the medium chance to stun the enemy. As part of the passive, he does provide support for extreme types. Key +2 and attack and defense increase of 20%. The only really relevant link skill that he has on an extreme team setup is probably Thirst for Conquest, maybe Coward and Brainiacs, but for the most part, he's certainly an option. Not the best of option, but certainly an option nevertheless. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and include another free-to-play unit. This is the Super Tech Yurin unit that I actually used her on the Peppy Gals category stage for the Super Battle Road, and she actually helped a decent amount. She's got a chance to stun the enemy as part of the super attack, but the passive is actually way better. She gets +3 key attacked enemy, attack and defense -15%, and also medium chance to stun the attacked enemy. So like I said, on the Peppy Gals category stage in Super Battle Road, she actually helped out quite a bit because she had a medium chance to stun the attacked enemy and also reduce their attack and defense by 15%. So definitely helped out there. And she didn't really struggle with the links within that Peppy Gals category. So probably going to be best to include her on that or the Universe Survival Saga setup. Overall, a decent option. Now we're going to cover the free-to-play TN unit. This is one of the old school Super Strike event units. So he does have the medium chance of stunning all enemies as part of the passive skill. So he does have his uses if you're lacking units, but Link skills, he's pretty much got the Z Fighters set up, with the Z Fighters Link and Super Strike and Dodonre and all that, Rival Duo and all that. Not the best of units, again, but certainly an option to include. So overall, a decent option. Next up is going to be the Extreme Intelligence Hit unit. Somewhat a little bit obsolete now, but I guess he could certainly be used on a Universe Survival Saga team now, since that category team is pretty decent. He's got the chance to stun the enemy as part of the super attack, but the passive skill has a high chance of stunning the attacked enemy, so definitely a decent option to include if you're looking to go through a tough event, or maybe even like I said, Battle Road or any other tougher events like that. Certainly an option to include on a Universe Survival Saga team setup. The links are pretty much going to be fine, so not too much to worry about there. Okay, this guy is pretty, irrelevant, I guess. Not many people talk about this unit, but he actually does have his uses on the Resurrected Warriors category team, and actually does decent. I tested him myself not too long ago, and he links up fairly well with the units in that category. This is obviously the Demigra unit. He's got the rare chance to stun the enemy as part of the super attack, but the benefit comes from the passive where he has a high chance to stun the attacked enemy. So in Super Battle Road for Extreme Intel versus the super attack enemies is where I tested this guy, and he did pretty decent on it. So certainly an option to include. This one is not so much a great option, but did want to include it just in case. This is going to be the Future Mai unit, super intelligence type. She does have the rare chance to stun the enemy, and also with the passive high chance of stunning the attacked enemy. So exact same thing as the Demigra unit that we just covered. She does struggle with the link skills because it's relatively restricted. She does fall into Peppy Gals and Future Saga category, so it's probably best to use her on one of those. Probably more or less on Peppy Gals and Future Saga, but she's certainly an option to include, for stages like Super Battle Road and stuff. Maybe Battlefield 2. Alright, so the next two is going to be, well, I guess technically you could say next three are going to be the World Tournament purpose type units. So we'll go ahead and cover these real fast. The first one being the Jacko unit, Super Tech, just has the ability to stun all enemies, may stun all enemies, and that percent equates to, if I check here, let's see, that equates to a, I don't even know what chance that is, like how frequently that will actually happen, but he is an option to include. A lot of people do include this guy in the next unit in the World Tournament setting, just to stun the whole field and clear the map and move on to the next round kind of thing. So he's an option nevertheless. The only reason people include this guy is for the passive and the passive alone, nothing else. The Chaozu unit is the same thing, exact same setup with the Jacko unit, may stun all enemies as part of the passive, and again, people only include these two units on the World Tournament setting to make life a little bit easier and not get KO'd from unexpected super attack. The last one I do want to cover is the Super Intelligence Bulma unit. You do get the Awakening medals from the Rabbit Gang or whatever shit event that's going. I think that's going on or coming up pretty soon in JP. But She does have the rare chance to stun the enemy, and also key +2 for all allies, medium chance to stun all enemies as part of the passive skill. She falls in the Peppy Gal's category, so I think the biggest benefit of using her would probably be for Super Battle Road on the Peppy Gal stage. I think she might be able to provide some benefits, especially since she also provides +2 key for all allies on top of the medium chance to stun all enemies. I haven't tested it myself, but I think it'll probably be fairly useful for that. So that pretty much consists of all the units that I wanted to cover for this video's purpose, but I know there's quite a bit that I probably didn't include that you guys might have an opinion on, so feel free to comment below and let me know what you guys think. All right, so thanks for watching. This is the compilation of all the the best stun units in Dokkan Battle currently. All right, see ya.